whiskey, eh? Lima whiskey.
There is a Lima whiskey. Come back with the whole thing, please.
Okay, Jim. Call sign is Whiskey 8, Lima Whiskey, located in Michigan. The name is Tim.
Roger, Tim in Michigan. And gosh, we got a setup for you, brother. I think it'll improve your signal drastically, Roger.
Okay, copy that. Well, we're test driving an SDR again on 7,000. Yeah, I have a couple questions if you can. It's kind of generic just about the equalizer on board of this SDR. Over.
Roger. Well, first off, you are running absolutely with no processing. Your dynamic range is 10 dB. And what we want to do is bring that to a 3 dB, which will increase your signal-to-noise ratio and transmit 3 times. So if you're interested, let's start. Now, I can't talk about EQ with you right now because as we fatten your signal up, your EQ curve will sound totally different than what it does when you're at 10 dB dynamic range, Roger.
Okay. So, are you familiar with the SDR? Do you run any of those?
No, I am not. Our setup is very generic. So it starts with, I'm assuming that you do have a compressor, and it starts with engaging your compressor, but at a token amount, only a 3. It's something that you'll never hear working, but it does exactly what it needs to do. So if you would like to get a fatter signal, if you engage your compressor at a 3, that will be the beginning.
Okay, roger that. 3 dB right there.
Okay, and I'm assuming that your input level control is something like 0 to 10 or 0 to 100. And if it's a 0 to 10, we want a 3. If it's 0 to 100, we want a 30. Roger?
Okay, Jim, you'll have to explain to me what you're speaking about there. Are you talking about mic gain?
No, I'm talking about compressor attenuation. In other words, you have a compressor control, and on that compressor control, we want to utilize only about a third of the compressor. So if you have a rotary dial that controls your compressor input level, if you were to put it on a 3 out of 10, 30 out of 100. Roger?
Okay, I've got a slider on the software program here that is at a 3 right now.
Okay, so that would look like about a third of its capabilities, Roger? I mean, as you look at the slider, it's halfway would be halfway, so we're talking about just a third of the way, Roger. Coming up. There's 1/3 of the field there. Okay, now with your compressor inline, I want you to go to your ALC meter, and with mic gain in hand, I want you to speak normally into your microphone, and adjust your ALC level until it's reading mid-scale to 2/3. You'll be speaking normally into your microphone and with the mic gain in hand, and adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is running mid-scale to 2/3. Roger?
Okay, roger that. Grab that mic there. It looks like it might be able to come up a little bit, just a little bit. How's that right there?
We're starting to get there. Now, in addition to where we are, I want you to think about this. We have the ability to control some of our audio within ourselves as we speak, the way we speak. And if you were to, say, be looking at your output watt meter or your power meter, whatever, and we're talking sideband, so as you speak, that meter's moving up towards maximum power output. The point is that we want to watch that meter as we speak, and we want to try to keep that meter up there at the maximum point by just our voice. And you do that by two things. Number one is the rate of speech. You can't get that meter to stay up if you're speaking like that. You know, you have to have, speak along at a relatively good tempo, and also each word you're trying to keep the same volume level, amplitude level from each word, So, and this is something that you will not be able to do probably right off, but the more you look at the meter as you speak, the more you relate to the meter movement to your voice, and it's over a period of time you'll become very good at trying to keep that output up. Roger?
Okay, roger that. Copy that. Let's see. Yeah, that'll take some getting used to there. Let me see about getting this drive level down on the wattage. Okay.
Okay, and the other thing would be now, so we have your compressor in at a 3. That's a Roger?
Move there, Jim.
I'm sorry, we doubled. We have your compressor in at a 3, Roger?
Now we have that compressor at a 3rd, yes.
All right, and we have your ALC. As you're looking at your ALC meter, you have your mic gain adjusted to where your ALC is running mid-scale to 2/3. And the actual sweet spot of that ALC meter is halfway between mid-scale and 2/3. But you have to have some pluses and minuses, so we just say mid-scale to 2/3 by adjusting your mic gain control. Roger?
Yeah, roger that. It's right up there looking about like that right now there, over.
Roger, Roger. Now your signal to me is about 4 times fatter than when we began the conversation. It was very, non-processed. So you were running 10 dB dynamic range, and now you're running somewhere around 3 dB dynamic range, which means your average percent of peak modulation is somewhere around 80 to 85%. Now, there's another thing. You're running a 7610, so if you went to quick and bring up drive, we do suggest that those with 7610s can run their drive, move it up from 50 to 60%. That's a little bit fatter signal. You might want to take your overall output down if you have amplifier problems or no,
Okay. Well, just to clarify, negative on a 7610, this is an Apache Lab on 7000, over.
Oh, Roger, Roger. I'm sorry. I was, forget the quick and drive. Not available on the Apache. But I think our setup is one that's very generic, so we can set up almost any radio. I mean, that's got a compressor and an ALC, and the end product will be a 3 dB dynamic range with an average percent of peak modulation between 80 and 85%, which is a very nice fat signal.
Okay, copy that, and that's just between the compressor and the mic gain on the ALC meter, and we've just done that, so you say you do notice a difference from the beginning there, over?
Oh, yeah, your signal is, before I was seeing each word, come up, and the thing about it is, what that compressor at a 3 does, it's a token amount, but it does ballistically start to shape the amplitude excursions of your voice. And by the time then it reaches that ALC, the ALC is further crunching just a little bit. So between the two, we're moving from a 10 dB dynamic range voice signal to a 3 dB dynamic voice signal. Roger?
Okay, copy that there. Okay. So let's see. Friday afternoon, I think we've spoken before, Jim, and you helped me along with a Qso radio there. I really appreciate what you're doing here for us, and if there's anything else we can do on this end, let me know, and we'll change it. Other than that, I'd let you get along with your next Qso there, Jim.
Roger, Tim. Just as a word of information, we have a spectrum analyzer tied to our receiver. Our receiver is pretty heavily modified for frequency response, low and below 100 cycles. So if you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by today's date 9/11/20. That should take you directly to this recording. Before, we were just doing a call letter search, and then YouTube was nice enough to put our latest stuff up on page 1, so it wasn't very difficult to find. But I guess YouTube's had a change of policy, and sometimes something new winds up pretty far down the list. But if you go to YouTube and do that call letter search, KC9VKV, followed by today's date, 9/11/20, that will take you directly to this recording. Roger?
Yeah, roger all that, Jim. Well, thanks again, KC9VKV. This is WHAS 73. You have a good weekend, eh?
Roger, Tim. And what I was going to say is the spectrum analyzer is tied to the output of our receiver, and so you'll be able to see precisely what your audio curve is. We have that spectrum analyzer as part of our set. Roger?
Oh, okay. Very good. Well, that's great. Thank you there, Jim.
Roger. 3 to you, sir. Thanks for dropping by. And if you get a chance, join us next Friday. We'd love to have you. This is KC9VKV, the Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.